Hello, I'm Richard Bruce. I work as a substitute yard supervisor and more often as a substitute teacher at Davis High. This is the high school for Davis, California, home of the University of California, Davis. And I'm putting together some of the tips based on what I do in various sort of classroom or yard supervision control tips. Went out on the yard. One thing we deal with is a little bit of horseplay. Many years ago, we were told, don't worry about the horseplay. But I found a technique that sort of stopped it without requiring me to ever punish anybody. Didn't cost anything, so I did it. I usually just said, you're having too much fun. And mysteriously, even though this was backed up by pretty much nothing, they would stop. Now, the one of the techniques that is being used here is that in your conversations with the kids, if you said to them, stop that, they would say, of course, we're just having fun. Well, what I have done is I've stepped one step ahead in the conversation. I am basically responding not to the situation, but to what they were going to say. And at that point, that sort of takes them back, surprises them a little bit, and of course, it shows that I know somewhat of what's going on. So that's an amazing little, effective little thing that doesn't, as I say, cost anything, and a little bit amusing. Another technique I used more in the classroom that you must really, really avoid. Sometimes when boy and girl were poking at each other or something like that, I said something like, couldn't you find some more sophisticated form of courtship? What about flowers, candy, poetry, something like that? Now, that you don't do. It works fine. In some sense, they do stop poking each other, but then they always decide that they in fact do like one another, and you realize that they might move on to more sophisticated courtship, and that could lead to all sorts of problems, where on the other hand, the poking really isn't going to cause anything serious. So you're inclined to say, forget what I said, go back to poking. A third area, though, that I do use in the classroom a lot, especially when a girl is hitting a boy, I usually say, don't hit it. Don't treat him the way he deserves to be treated. This causes a little amusement too, and usually gets them to stop. They both laugh and then just stop. So those are some little techniques for dealing with horseplay and pushing and shoving and so on and so forth. Costless, amusing, so on and so forth. Well, this is Richard Bruce with tips on substitute teaching and yard supervision. Over and out. Bye.